Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna see a new chapter in social sciences. So Nazism and rise of Hitler. We all know who Hitler is, right? So the guy with a small beard, right? So here in this particular chapter, this chapter starts with a wonderful story, but a sad story. So what is that story about? That story runs back to 1945. Here, 11-year-old German boy called Helmut. Okay, 11-year-old boy. His name was Helmut. He was lying on his bed when he overheard his parents discussing something in very serious tones. Normally, we also, when we are small kids, when your parents are discussing something very seriously, you peep into the room, right? Same way, Helmut is peeping into the room. His father was a very prominent physician. Okay, so he was a very prominent doctor deliberated with his wife whether the time had come to kill his entire family. Now he was discussing his wife that should I kill the entire family or if he should commit suicide alone. Now there's a very serious discussion. Now they're talking about something killings, right? Here, when they're discussing about killing the entire family or they want to commit suicide alone. His father spoke about his fear of revenge. Now his father is worried about something. What is that something? That is revenge. So, who is going to take revenge about him, about his father? We don't know. Let us see. Now, the allies will do to us what we did to the crippled and the Jews. Now, he is worried about some people called as allies, that they will take revenge against the father of Helmut. The next day, he took Helmut to the woods. The father took Helmut to the woods. Woods is nothing but like a garden where they spent their last happy time together. So that was the happiest time in their life which they spent together. Singing old children's songs. Later, Helmut's father shot himself in his office. So Helmut's father went to the office and he alone shot himself taking a gun. Helmut remembers that he saw father's bloody uniform being burnt in the family's fireplace. Now Helmut is remembering his father's uniform is being burnt. So traumatized was he by what he had overheard and what had happened that he reacted by refusing to eat at home for following 9 years. Now Helmut, after what had happened, he saw and is not eating at home. Why is he not eating? He was afraid that his mother might poison him because initially when he was a small kid, that 11-year-old kid, he was hearing his parents talk, right? So he was afraid that his mother might poison him. Right. Although Helmut may not have realized that it meant his father had been a Nazi. So his father was a supporter of Nazi and he was a supporter of Adolf Hitler. Many of you know something about Nazis and Hitler, right? Most of us know what atrocities Nazis and Hitler had done. You probably know of Hitler's determination to make Germany into a mighty power and his ambitions of conquering all of Europe. This guy was Hitler, and he wanted to conquer all the European countries, and he wanted to become a superpower. He wanted to make Germany a superpower. And you may also have heard he was a person who killed Jews. But Nazism was not one or two isolated acts. It was a system. So killing of Jews and all the other atrocities made by them, it was a whole structure. And this structure came from ideas about the world and politics. Now let us understand what Nazism was all about and let us see why Helmut's father killed himself and what is the basis of his fear. Now we know whenever things happen, suppose say when we want to create an idea, when an idea is created, behind an idea there will be an event and behind an event there will be a person. Say Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was just a lawyer. Mahatma Gandhi was a normal lawyer who was in South Africa. Now what was the event which changed him? The event was Britishers or the British railway officers, they pushed him out of the train. There, he developed an idea. What was that idea? Idea was dignity. So he said, dignity is what a person needs. Same way, what were the events which happened to a person called as Hitler? What was the person? what were the events which happened to a person called Hitler, and what was that event which made him so notorious and made an idea of Nazism, right? What a person is Hitler over here. What were the events which gave rise to an idea of Nazism? That is what we are going to learn in this chapter. So here in our lives, event become very important things. A person can be anyone. A person can be you. A person can be me. A person can be anyone. But what was the event which happened in our lives will bring an idea of what we are, right? So those events, history is gonna teach us. So in May 1945, we are going back. In May 1945, in this time, India was not independent. Germany surrendered to allies. Who are these allies? So yeah, allied powers were UK, France, USA, USSR, and Axis powers were Germany, Italy, and Japan. Now, in this 1945, Germany surrendered to allies. So Germany had lost the war and they surrendered to all these four countries, that is UK, France, USSR, and USA. Anticipating what was coming, Hitler and his propaganda minister. See, after losing the war, okay, whatever atrocities these people have done, that is Nazi people have done, okay, it will be coming out. So remembering that, what Hitler and his propaganda minister Goebbels and his entire family committed suicide, right? The propaganda minister and his entire family committed suicide in this Berlin bunker. Berlin is in Germany. At the end of the war, an international military tribunal is nothing but a court. Okay, international military tribunal at Nuremberg was set up. There was a place called as Nuremberg, and it is set up to prosecute Nazi war criminals. After the war, Nazi war criminals, the soldiers who fought with Nazi, right? So those people are criminals now, because in the war, whoever is losing, they will be prosecuted against peace for the war crimes and crimes against humanity. Germany's conduct during the war, especially those actions which came to be called as crimes against humanity, raised serious moral and ethical questions and invited worldwide condemnation. Worldwide condemnation. So this is what is happening. So now Axis powers have lost the war. In 1945, they have lost the war. Correct? So what were the events? What were the acts conducted by Nazis? What were the acts, the events which was conducted by Nazis here are persecuted in 1945? Meaning they are being asked, whatever they have done, is it moral or not moral, and what punishment should be given? Under the shadow of Second World War, Germany had waged a genocidal war. Under the shadow of Second World War. Second World War is nothing but in where Germany is fighting with the Allied powers. Germany had waged a genocidal war. Genocide is mass killing of people, which resulted in mass murder of selected group of innocent civilians of Europe. The number of people killed included 6 million Jews. We know 1 million is 10 lakhs, and there are 6 million Jews which have been killed. And 2 lakh gypsies and 1 million Polish civilians and 70,000 Germans were considered mentally and physically disabled. See, now what happens is a state, meaning a country works as an organism. A country works as an organism. Now, suppose say there are 10 people in a place. Now, after they're getting married, they will be having more children. Because they have more children, they want more space. And this area will they want to have more space because they want to do agriculture, they want to settle down. So state wants to grow. State works as an organism and it is needing to grow. Now, whenever we are trying to grow, when we have to wage wars, and whoever are the weakest people in these 10 people are going to die, isn't it? So whoever are the weakest people who are going to war will gonna die. Now, if at all, if I'm going to war with the weakest people, what will happen? I will also die along with them. So, what Nazi people had thought? Nazi people had thought, let us kill those people who are not physically fit and mentally fit to what? To protect Germany, to protect the nation. This is what they have done. Besides innumerable political opponents, Nazis devised an unprecedented means of killing. So how these people have been killed in the state of Germany? Okay, it is unimaginable by gassing them down in various centers like Auschwitz. And Nuremberg tribunal sentenced only 11 leading Nazi to the death. Nuremberg tribunal is sentencing only 11 people. Nazis, so everyone had did this atrocity. What did they do? They had a room, gassing chamber, and they put the people over here and they gassed them. They put poisonous gases. What did they do? They put poisonous gases into it so that they succumb to death. Many others were imprisoned for life, and retribution did come, yet punishment of Nazis. Retribution is what? Judgment had come, but the punishment of Nazi war for short of brutality. What is happening? Whatever Nazis have done, comparatively, the punishment was which was given by the Nuremberg tribunal was not that much. And the extent of the crimes. The Allies did not want to be harsh on defeated Germany as they had been after the First World War. So, who are the Allies people? Allies are UK, France, USA, and USSR. Now, after defeat in 1945, Allied people are thinking that they should not be very harsh on Germany as they had been in First World War. Even in First World War, also, Allied forces had won the war and they were very harsh on Germany. So, where did this Hitler come from? What and all is happening? That what was the experience which Nazis gave to the Jews, right? All these things we will be looking in the next video. Please follow us so that you will be able to understand the whole chapter.